In the African bush, courage is not something a honey badger learns. It is something survival demands from the very first step. Beneath the dry grass and scattered acacia trees, a mother emerges from her hidden den. Close behind her come three small cubs, unsteady on their feet and far too young to understand the dangers surrounding them. Their world is vast. Hyenas patrol the open ground. Snakes disappear beneath the dust. Larger predators may be watching from a distance, yet their mother does not rush to carry them away from every threat. She begins teaching them how to face the wild. The cubs follow her through the golden grass, stopping to investigate every unfamiliar scent. One wanders toward a beetle. Another digs clumsily at the soil. The smallest stays close to its mother's side. She moves with purpose, her nose searching the ground for hidden food. Honey badgers depend on a powerful sense of smell to locate insects, small animals, eggs, and underground prey. But finding food is only the beginning. The cubs must learn where to search, when to dig, and when to move on. Suddenly the mother freezes. Her head lifts. Her body becomes still. The cubs stop behind her, sensing that something has changed. Somewhere beyond the grass, an unfamiliar sound drifts across the plain. For the young honey badgers, this is their first lesson. In the wild, survival often begins with knowing when not to move. The danger passes, and the mother continues forward. The cubs follow, but their attention quickly returns to the ground beneath their paws. Soon she begins digging. Her strong front claws tear through the dry earth, sending loose soil behind her. The cubs rush closer, watching every movement. One tries to copy her, scraping at the ground with tiny claws. Another climbs into the shallow hole, only to tumble sideways. The mother keeps working. For honey badgers, digging is more than a way to find food. It can uncover insects, expose hidden prey, or create shelter from heat and danger. Every movement is efficient, shaped by generations of survival. Then the mother uncovers a small meal. The cubs crowd around, eager and impatient. But she does not allow the strongest cub to take everything. Each youngster must learn to wait, observe, and feed without losing awareness of its surroundings. As the sun climbs higher, the heat becomes intense. The family moves toward thicker cover, where shadows offer brief relief. But the smallest cub begins to fall behind. It pauses beside a patch of dry grass, distracted by movement beneath the soil. The mother notices immediately. She turns and gives a low warning sound. The cub looks up. For a moment it hesitates between curiosity and safety. Then it races back to the group. That choice may seem small, but in the wilderness, separation can become a serious risk. The cub is learning that independence does not mean wandering without caution. And before the day is over, another lesson will test all three cubs. As evening approaches, the landscape begins to cool. The mother leads her cubs into an area filled with old burrows and tangled roots. Here the ground hides both food and danger. A sudden rustle stops the family. The mother steps forward, placing herself between the sound and her cubs. Her posture changes. Her body lowers and her attention locks onto the grass. The cubs watch silently. They have seen her dig. They have watched her search. Now they are learning how an experienced animal responds when uncertainty appears. The movement fades, But the lesson remains. The mother does not chase every sound. She does not waste energy on every possible threat. Instead, she judges the situation, protects her young, and chooses the safest path forward. Later, the cubs begin exploring on their own. They spread out only a short distance, sniffing beneath leaves and digging into soft soil. Their movements are still awkward, but each day brings greater confidence. One cub discovers an insect and quickly grabs it. Another finds a scent trail and follows it for several steps before returning to its mother. For the first time, they are not simply copying her. They are beginning to make decisions. But growing stronger also means facing failure. A cub digs in the wrong place. Another loses its food. The smallest becomes startled by a sudden bird taking flight. Their mother does not solve every problem. She watches. The wild cannot teach patience through comfort. It teaches through experience. And as darkness spreads across the bush, the three cubs are no longer taking only their first steps. They are taking their first steps toward independence. Weeks pass, and the cubs grow larger, stronger, and more confident. Their mother now allows them to travel farther from her side. They search the ground independently, test unfamiliar scents, and dig with increasing skill. The smallest cub, once reluctant to leave her shadow, now moves ahead of the group. It pauses, listens, and chooses a path through the grass. But independence comes gradually. The mother remains nearby, guiding without controlling. She still leads the family toward shelter. She still watches for danger. Yet her role is changing. She is no longer teaching them only how to follow. She is teaching them how to survive without her. One evening, the cubs uncover food before their mother does. They work the ground together, using the strength and skills they have practiced since their earliest days outside the den. Their mother stands nearby. For a moment, she does nothing. She simply watches. The cubs have learned to search, dig, listen, stay together, and recognize when caution is more valuable than courage. Soon, each will face the wilderness alone. The path ahead will be uncertain. Food will not always be easy to find. Danger will come without warning. But the lessons of their mother will travel with them long after the family separates. In the wild, a mother's greatest achievement is not keeping her young close forever. It is preparing them to walk away. And across the fading African landscape, 3 young honey badgers move forward, no longer helpless cubs, but survivors in the making. For more unforgettable stories from the natural world, subscribe and join us on the next adventure.